great. It's 10 a.m. for us here. Hit the button and we're going to get started. Just like usual, I will introduce you as, of course, the CEO of PoE Texas. PoE Texas. Oh my God. Please excuse me. I'll get it right. Here we go.
Julie, thank you again for having me on your webinar series. It's always a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to be here to talk to your audience again about Power over Ethernet. Love Power over Ethernet. It's my thing. The other day I was thinking, it's been a while since we talked about Power over Ethernet and the USB-C standards, and some things have changed. So I'm doing a refresh on what things have changed with Power over Ethernet and USB-C. First, the biggest change since we last spoke about this topic is that Apple.
Good morning, everyone. This is Julie McDonald with Microcom Technologies, and I'd like to thank all of you for attending today's webinar Texas. Our host today is Mr. Tyler Andrews, our good friend, and he is their CEO and will be presenting with us today. If anyone has any questions, as you know, please submit them in the question box and Tyler will be able to answer them at the end of today's presentation. Tyler, thank you so much for being with Microcom today. We greatly appreciate it. Looking forward to it. Please go ahead and take it over.
All right, Julie, thank you again. Sorry about the little technical hiccup here. I was trying to catch up and make sure I was talking to the audience, but I'm really happy to be here to talk to you about Power over Ethernet. It's what I do, it's what I love to do.
Audio delay. I know we're working on some. Please go ahead and take it on over.
All right, so I'm going to keep talking, Julie. So hopefully my audio will pick up and catch up. Because today we're talking about the USB-C standards and how things have changed with PoE and USB-C. The biggest change, obviously, is that Apple has finally come into the fold. They've agreed to. I'm going to pause here just in case, Julie, you're talking. Hopefully I'm coming through, and I apologize about the sound issues. So Apple, which was the biggest holdout to converging onto the USB-C standard, has finally converted. They've gotten the message, and now all of their iPads and iPhones have USB-C ports. And that means everyone, Google, Meta, HP, Lenovo, Samsung, Amazon, and now even Apple use the same data and communication standard. And that's fantastic. And just a little side note for those of you who may not be as familiar with USB-C, what it is, let me break it down for you Barney style. So USB-C is the little connectors that plug into your handheld devices, phones, laptops, and the new standard, here I'm showing the standard from a few years ago, which was 3.0. The new standard has been upgraded to USB 3.2. It gives you up to 4K video, or what would be equivalent of a 10 gigabit per second TCP/IP communication throughput. It now offers up to 240 watts of power for the power delivery or PD standard. And with all of these upgrades, this is really important, it's required bigger, better, more expensive cables. And we'll talk about why that's important in a second. The key here, though, is it is backward compatible, which is really important and a value for industry standards. Your previous USB-C and USB products will still work on the current USB-C standard. So this begs the question. This is very cool. This USB-C standard is amazing. It covers so much. How does Tyler even have a job? And why is he here talking about USB-C? I mentioned the part about that 15-foot cable length. The fastest, best power data standards, they all require a very specific, expensive USB-C cable that can only run about 15 feet. That just doesn't work for your modern building or office to be able to transport communication and data around the facility. And that's where PoE comes in. Using cables that you already have in your facility and ones that you've already installed, you could take advantage of the IEEE 802.3 standard for power over Ethernet. And you would get then the best of both worlds. PoE can run 328 feet. The new power standards gives you up to 90 watts. And it is cable infrastructure you already have in most commercial buildings. So being able to combine PoE and USB-C together gives you the best of both worlds with the convenience of those Ethernet cables that can run 330 feet or a kilometer, or 100 meters, sorry. But why is all this important? What is this really, like, why does all this seem so important as technology? This is all great technology, cool features you're telling me. But what's important? And I'll try and distill it down into one word for you. It's a big conversation, a lot of complex moving processes, but one thing is important: convergence. So I'm going to bring this up. This is a little slide talking about convergence. And convergence is this idea that technology naturally drifts toward the best option for the broadest applications. And for the most part, it drifts toward industry standards. USB-C is the converging technology for handheld commercial devices because it's an industry standard that combines power and communication onto one cable for handheld devices and laptops. The same principle applies for power over Ethernet. So I'm going to poke here. This is the same standard for power over Ethernet for small things. It's the same universally accepted communication standard and universally accepted power standard worldwide. What that means for you is that whether today, tomorrow, or next week, your customers will be asking you for solutions that require either USB-C or PoE, or want to take advantage of the best of both worlds. So PoE Texas, we created the patented solution to bridge these two technologies together into plug-and-play devices. So what kinds of things, or where might you expect to see these kinds of projects come up? The market using a USB-C enabled device for smart buildings is really growing. Conference room schedulers, signage, check-in kiosks, point of sale, wall controllers, anything that a building could use to communicate to customers has the potential to become a USB-C device, like an iPad or a Samsung Tab. And owners like that opportunity because, number one, it gives them more control on how to deploy the devices rather than just having to buy a very custom, expensive single-purpose device that gets programmed by an expensive programmer. Their in-house IT team can deploy tablets like an iPad or Samsung Galaxy or Samsung Tab, Lenovo tablet, all those kinds of things they can deploy themselves. And they like that freedom and the ability to repurpose their assets, which is really very important. So we've talked about PoE over USB-C in the past, and PoE Texas has models that allow you to put your PoE to USB-C converter in the wall, in a gang box, in different environments. But two things that have come up that people have been asking us for repeatedly that we're excited to present are, number one, more data. Let's check out how we provide more data to customers.
Tyler, can I interject? Your audio is coming through fine, but not the video. It's frozen.
All right, is the audio coming back through again now?
Yes,
or the video
and
coming
now
through?
no video, no.
All right, and are you seeing my video?
Nothing. The screen is black.
Okay, I'm presenting my video. I'm gonna turn off my camera.
Oh, you know what? One of our audience members chimed in and said they can see.
Okay. All
One
right.
audience member says it's working for them.
Okay. I'll keep rolling. Let's keep rolling.
Yeah, okay.
Send a text, hit the chat, and tell Julie or I if you're not seeing me or if my audio is not coming through. But let me see if I can show you what we're doing with more data.
Okay, thank you. Keep going.
I want it. I want it. I want it. I want it. Want it. I want it. I want it. Want it. I want it. I want it. Radio Jungle. I want it. I want it. Want it. I want it.
This is the new, upgraded, more advanced than ever GAT USB-C PD. The all-new aluminum enclosure comes in brushed aluminum or black and provides more heat dissipation capability than ever before. Smaller and designed to fit in tight tablet enclosure spaces, the new version 3 GAT USB-C PD now delivers blazing fast USB 3.0 data. That means you get gigabit network data right to your iPad, Surface, or Samsung Tab, along with our industry-leading Power over Ethernet to USB power delivery technology all on one cable. You can run graphics-intensive media remotely for digital signage, remotely store media content, or operate your own NDI streaming studio using your tablet devices. As always, our GAT USB-C PD comes ready to use right out of the box. There's no configuration, no programming, and no accounts to set up. We've paired it with most industry standard devices to get the broadest compatibility available in the market today. Simply connect your PoE Plus switch to the GAT USB-C PD version 3, and you have the fastest, most reliable direct wire connection to your device. This is the all-new GAT USB-C PD version 3. It retails for just $128.99, delivering so much value at this affordable price. PoE Plus power for USB power delivery, high-performance aluminum enclosure, and the broadest compatibility on the market, whether you're an Apple, Microsoft, Samsung, HP, or Lenovo user. There's no other device like this.
So, faster data, great. Next came the request for more power. Everybody always wants more power. So we developed our own IEEE 802.3 BT compatible device. even a few other people have gotten into the USB-C business, like Amazon with their Amazon Echo Hub. Oddly enough, Amazon decided not to work with a US-based business who has the patented technology, but regardless, we stepped in and we created a product that is compatible with the Amazon Echo Hub for those of you who are servicing small businesses or home customers. And then finally, for those of you who missed PoE Texas's last webinar here with Microcom, that was a couple months ago, go back and watch it because we covered the whole topic of room booking and space utilization using Power over Ethernet. And since then, we have officially launched our iPad mount with an LED indicator that comes with a free to use minimal app for room booking and scheduling. Let's check that one out. Excuse me. So you can see we made a lot of changes and a lot of headway in the PoE to USB-C space. Excuse me. And we're excited to continue to support customers as the PoE and the USB-C markets develop and evolve. And we're going to continue to see tablets and iPads become more and more applicable in IoT applications. So I hope I've given you a new perspective on Power over Ethernet and USB-C and where we are today. If you have questions for us, if you'd like to learn more, if you'd like to add this to your business, let us know, because PoE can supercharge what you're doing for customers. We're happy to help give you information, answer questions, or find the right solution for you. Reach out to us at www.poetexas.com or talk to your Microcom rep who will help you find the right product. Julie, with that, that's my presentation for today.
Thank you very much, Tyler. I hope you can hear me. Anyway, yes, the presentation has been seen. I appreciate it so much. And I do have some questions for you. Let's get started with the first one. Does PoE Texas now support USB-C power delivery over PoE?
Ooh, that is a very good question. So if you're asking, can we take USB-C as the power source and convert it to PoE and send it on, that is actually a project that is in the works. It's not released yet, but it is definitely in the works to be able to allow you to take your USB-C port and transmit power and data onto PoE. People have been asking for it, and it's coming.
Great. That sounded like a good question. Happy to have that here for you. Okay, next question. Has PoE Texas released any PoE powered USB hubs or docking stations?
Ooh, that is another good question. The simple answer is not as a single device. I do know there are a few out there, but the reason why we haven't issued a dock, we have the technology, we know how to make it happen, But the challenge that we found is that we don't feel like we can achieve it at a price point that customers will be interested in. So if you know people who want to do it, let us know. But the problem is we haven't been able to find a way to get a whole hub or dock into, say, a $100 or less price point, because that's kind of where the dock and the hub market is. I do know some people who are selling some PoE-enabled docks that are retailing for close to $600. And I'm guessing most people aren't interested enough in PoE to pay for a $600 dock. As the technology develops and new resources become available, we will be continuing to look at docks and hubs. But unfortunately, we don't think for the price point, one integrated device makes sense. Having said that, we do have devices that allow you to, for example, we've added USB ports, like a USB-A port to our devices, so you can get a USB-A accessory on board. But we haven't done like HDMI and powering monitors. Just hasn't quite made sense for us at this point. But keep an eye out. The market and technology changes and opportunities come up. That's a great question.
Great. Thank you so much, Tyler. Next question here. What future PoE technologies is PoE Texas currently developing, if you can share any of that with us?
Yeah, I think you ask me this almost every time, Julie, and I keep telling you, this is a terrible question to ask CEOs because they tend to tell you all kinds of things that they shouldn't say. All the team says no. A couple of things that are definitely worth mentioning is that USB-C to PoE converter. One that's coming out almost immediately that we're very excited about is our PoE 65-watt PoE splitter. So the biggest challenge that we get from so many customers is, Tyler, I need a PoE splitter that does 7.5 volts or 13.2 or 12 or 15 or 19 or 17.5. What we end up finding is people want to convert their DC devices to PoE, but they don't fall into these particular categories of one DC power. So we're launching in the next month a device that takes 65-watt PoE, and then you can adjust it to any voltage from 5 to 25 volts, whatever you need. And it has a little screw adjustment that you can use to tune the splitter to be exactly what you need. That means if you call me up and say, Tyler, I need 13.4 PoE, I got it. If you need 17.6 volt PoE, I've got it. And we'll be able to fulfill so many more custom solutions, and it's going to be in an indoor aluminum enclosure and an outdoor waterproof enclosure to try and cover as many opportunities and needs as you have. So there's that one. One that's been an exciting one is we're continuing to expand our PoE lighting line to be more affordable and have more features. So pretty soon, if you looked at our products, we sell a PoE to light bulb, white LED strip, and white disc light solution. We sell those today, less than $50. You buy them, no programming, they work. The next phase for us is something that would allow you to do RGB. So we'll be doing RGB with an app integration, so you could just control it from your phone to do RGB lights. And then the other big one that I'm really excited about is we've upgraded our 90-watt PoE injectors to 2.5 gig. So now, more than just gigabit, our injectors are doing 2.5 gig. And in the next couple of weeks, we're going to release our 90-watt 10 gigabit PoE injector that fits in the palm of your hand, about this big. And very excited about that. So what you can expect from PoE Texas: more power, faster, and more and a wider range of solutions to fit your needs.
Thank you so much for that, Tyler. Next question here for you. What are the advantages of combining USB-C and PoE in modern deployments?
Ooh, a lot of really good things. Number one, and this is super simple, you save 30% on your installation. Because if you have to pull separate AC power and then plug in your separate converter, it costs 30% more across the board. We've tested those amounts. We've done a lot of estimating and cost analysis. 30% is a safe number to say that you'll be able to save. So number one is the savings. Number two is the security. If you're comfortable having in your office or your commercial environment devices running on a wireless network, especially if they're running IoT applications, room booking, signage, those types of things, that's okay. But many businesses like to segment their network so that the Wi-Fi is just for guests and people using laptops, and their IoT and their building infrastructure is on a different network. With PoE, especially PoE to USB-C conversion, now those IoT devices can be on their own network. In fact, you could put them on their own VLAN through the local area network without having to try and get your Wi-Fi to do a whole bunch of other jumps, and it just makes a lot more sense. So people like the security that wired data does and the security of the power that it does. So between power, data, all on that one cable, and it costs less to do, it's a no-brainer. So many people have been happy to make that transition and get that benefit for their IoT applications.
Excellent. Thank you, Tyler. Next question here for you. Are there any limitations when using USB-C over PoE compared to traditional USB-C?
Ooh, that's a good question. Right now, the major limitation that you should know about are the power and the data. So power, USB-C can go up to 240 watts. The highest power standard PoE now works at is 90 watts. So you're not going to get 240 out of the out of PoE. And then USB-C can do an equivalent 10 gigabit per second communication. It's not exactly the same because they're doing a different type of communication protocol, but it does an equivalent of 10 gigabit per second. Those chips are still relatively expensive, which is why we haven't done a 10 gigabit PoE to USB-C converter. But as chip prices and as you tell, so reach out to us, tell us, hey, I need a 10 gig solution using USB 3.2. We could make those conversions. We could do that. We just haven't had people asking for it yet. So if you know you want 10 gig, let us know. We could upgrade to that. Those are the big differences between what USB-C can achieve and what PoE can currently achieve. We'll see how PoE evolves in the future, but those are the big ones that are the big differences now.
Thank you so much for that, Tyler. Last question here for you. What is the maximum power output for PoE Texas USB-C over PoE solutions?
65 watts. And I'm very careful to tell people about 65 watts. That handles 95% of your laptops. It handles most mini PCs. And we say 65 watts because the IEEE 802.3 BT standard, Type 4, Class A, I know I'm throwing a lot of numbers out there, I'm sorry, but the minimum that's required by industry standard is 72 watts at the PoE power device. So at our converter, I can only guarantee 72 watts with any PoE switch on the market. Our converters actually do more than that, and we can program them to do more than that. But but I have to be able to say I'm compatible with your Cisco's, your HP, your Planets, your Ubiquiti, whatever switch you want to do. And because I can only guarantee 72 watts, we gave ourselves a little bit of buffer and programmed our PoE to USB-C conversion to 65 watts. Like I said, we can go higher, but I have to give you that little buffer to make sure I'm compatible. But if you have an application where you're like, Tyler, I just need more, we can service you. We sell PoE switches, we sell PoE injectors designed to do more power. But right now, what's on the market that we sell would fit any PoE switch. And so that's kind of the power limitation that we face.
Tyler, thank you so much for answering all of those questions for us today. And also thank you to everyone joining today's webinar. And if anyone has any further questions, always please feel free to contact your sales rep or email us at sales@microcomtech.com. And if you wish to view any of the products mentioned and shown here today, please remember that our webinar presentation has been recorded and will be uploaded to our Microcom YouTube channel so we could all view it again. Tyler, I appreciate your time. I look forward to doing this again, perhaps in a couple months. I will reach out to you and get this all set up so we can check on the next phase of what you have to share with us. Thank you, everybody, for joining. I appreciate it. Bye-bye now.